My name is Evan, Eazy Hall. Again, everybody calls me Eazy. My mama named me Evan, so only people that knew me from back in the day really call me that. So if you knew me, it's cool. If not, easy, baby. Man, it all started for me when I was like, between 10 and 12, I don't remember, but my mom took me to this museum and she let me wander around. They just happened to have this entire exhibit. I'm talking about this big ass room filled with Yakuza tattoos. And if you don't know about the Yakuza, these are like these Japanese mafia businessmen who wear suits all day. But take that suit off and they tat it from their wrist to their neck to their fucking toes, bro. That shit is crazy. And I saw this as a child. And I was like, damn, that's gonna be me, bro. I'm gonna be just like that. And the funny thing is, when I was growing up, my mom used to say, 3 things I never want you to do. Ride motorcycles, get piercings, and get tattoos. I had to gauge his mom, sorry. I got the tattoo, sorry, but I don't ride bikes. So my first tattoo is actually right here. It's funny, like when I got this tattoo, I had started working this summer job. In my very first check, I literally had $20 left after I got this tattoo. I spent 2 weeks riding around Miami trying to find out who was gonna tat me. Found this cat named Gino, super popular, does all Rick Ross shit. And this shit right here, I got a crown and it says champ in it. And people be like, oh, you used to box? I'd be like, nah, it stands for Christ hears all my prayers. I made that up because I was trying to make a new WWJD thing and try to get rich off it. But I also wanted something kind of Christian so my mom wouldn't trip as hard and be like, oh, you got a tattoo? I was like, but it says Christ hears all my prayers. It's a good thing, right? So I'm kind of not really there anymore. So now I tell people it means consciousness or the cosmos hear all my prayers. It definitely sucked. Shit. I just remember like literally going from shop to shop to shop and then finally ended up back in my neighborhood in Carroll City at Gino's shop. And I was just like, yo, man, it's my first tattoo. He's like, oh, I got you. And I was like, okay, what you mean you got me? He's like, yeah, I got you. I'm like, you're not gonna draw it out? He says, nah, just sit down. And I was like, sit down? And he's like, yeah, I got you. I was like, what do you mean you got me? Every other place, they'd be like, oh, we gotta draw the stencil and da-da-da and place it on you. He's like, no, I don't do it like that. I draw it on you and I just do my thing. And I'm like, he's like, you trust me? I was like, shit, I mean, all these other motherfuckers in here, I guess I should trust you. So yeah, he just like, this is freehand, man. All the work I've gotten from Gino has been freehand. Like that's fucking freehand. He literally just outlined the shit and just started tatting. He did this angel for me next and I told my mom it was for her, so she didn't like kind of trip. But I remember I was asleep on the couch and she was out of town when I got it. And when I came home, my shirt was like right here and she just seen the bottom of it. She lifted it up and just got so mad and smacked it. But yeah, this jump freehand too, man. He just drew a little couple lines of where he wanted to go and just did his thing. That was Gino's thing though back in the day. It's like he didn't do no crosses. He didn't do, so the fact he even put a cross at the top for me, he was fucking with me. He used to be like this, I don't do no crosses, I don't do no letters, I don't do no fucking praying hands and rosaries. Like don't ask me for none of that shit, it's not happening. If you look at tattoos as far as like the decades that they were taking, like there's all certain shit that everybody got. Like with any kind of trend, right? You look at the 90s, you got like barbed wire and fucking tribal bands and shit going around their arms, right? Or they had like some Chinese letters or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you could really, or women had those little fucking tramp stamps and black girls would have the fucking, the Black Panther crawling up their leg and shit. You ever seen a little cougar and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like you can date people by their tattoo style. You know what I'm saying? But with G, he would always try to break that shit. He's like, yo, I'm not doing this shit. Like, you know, because most tattoo artists, they were an apprentice for somebody and they've had Rick Ross, like all Rick Ross shit is all G. He done Nas, Venus Williams, like motherfucker's a legend, bro. Like in Miami, he's a fucking legend. And like everybody, so the guy who did most of my tattoos next, his name was Alex, and he was Gino's first apprentice. So I started fucking with Alex like literally as soon as he started tatting. Actually, he did this little shit on my wrist. Cause I was like, oh, you know, if I put it on my wrist, I could wear a watch over it. And I came up with the idea to put what goes around. That's a tattoo nobody ever sees anymore. When I had no sleeves and shit, that was what everybody was saying, like, oh, you got a cute little wrist tattoo. And it says what goes around comes around. And it's like a bracelet. You know what I'm saying? And he did that shit in my backyard, bro, for like $20. Like my dad came home, we in the backyard, like, oh, hey. And my dad's like, just cool shit. He's like, oh, what you doing? You wanna get a tattoo? He's like, oh, okay. So my sleeve started, this arm is more of like my spiritual side, right? Like I got the flower of life, which is like the connecting and oneness with every being, every species, every person. Also with the Egyptian hieroglyphs. What goes around comes around. It's like the karma thing. I used to make music, and I had this concept of my first album that day was called Daydreams at Midnight. And it was like always about daydreaming, you know, whether it's middle of the day, middle of the night, you know, still you have to daydream, you have to create. And I didn't understand at the time what I was really talking about, but you know, just that manifestation process. And it's just crazy how like all of these, and even with my Christ hears all my prayers, it's my prayers are, you know, you're asking to manifest something, you know? So it's like, it's crazy like when I look at it later on, how this entire thing came together, because I never had a whole plan. It's just kind of how things came together on this arm. And that's why now it's like I got the Jesus piece. I was thinking about putting my son, and just like maybe like a Bruce Lee portrait, and just like a lot of people who are like my inspirations as far as like conscious thinking. A lot of people remember Bruce Lee for his like martial arts and shit, but Bruce Lee was a philosopher. You know, he went to school for philosophy and shit. That's how he came to America. And it's just like, shit, I don't know. It's just crazy how this arm really became, you know, has a universe. It also has like Marvin the Martian dunking the fucking earth wearing a pair of Jordans. So we got a lot of just spacey shit. This side, man, this side is a mixture of like family for real, and just like cool shit of me growing up. Starting at the bottom, my most recent, I got this little little laser gun for real for my son. His name is Laser. So I got this cool ass little gun. Shout out Ricky Havoc out here in ATL did that for me. I got, again, more people I admire. Bob Marley in a guitar, and with a dope ass little spliff. It turns into a spliff at the end. I got my grandpa. A lot of people are like, why that old white man got this swag hat on? I was like, I bought him that hat for Christmas. So that's the actual real picture that my man had did for me. On the back side, a lot of like weird shit. I got Freakazoid. A lot of people don't remember that. I got a donut because I'm a fucking donut fiend. Shout out to Sublime Donuts. If you ain't been, you sleep. Man, I got Boo from Mario. I got a Toad. I'm thinking about getting him his little hat like in some Rasta colors or some shit, but I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. I got my grandpa, my grandma, and man, this one's crazy because like this one Alex did for me, and I think he only charged me like $40, man, because he took like forever to do. He promised me, so he did like a whole portrait for like $40, bro. And you know, my guardian angel, I was adopted, so I always consider this like my adopted mother being like an angel for me, because she's helped pave the way for me, you know, even though, you know, we have difference of opinions in a lot of things in life, but, you know, she's always protecting me, helped make sure I was straight and able to succeed. So I know once I have ended up getting my chest done, and then I got this piece first across the middle, and it says Fortibus Fortuna Favet, and it means fortune favors the brave. And it's just a mindset that I had always tried to remind myself. It's like, yo, you don't get nowhere by being scared. You know what I'm saying? You kind of got to jump in that motherfucker to figure it out. You can't just be like, oh, well, what if this and this and this, and have all these ideas and never move on the shit. You get it when you put yourself in it. Shit, it's crazy. Like if you look at the chest, like Gino did this one. When I saw him do that freehand shit, like he literally just etched the face, like where the face would be and all that shit, and just did it. Like that shit's freehand as fuck. Like it's crazy. So yeah, that was just kind of how I felt about girls at the time. You know, you got some angels, you got some devils. At the end of the day, they both blow up on you. So you know, hey, women are women. You can't. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, man, just a dope ass chest piece. Alex blessed me with this one for my birthday a couple years ago. Well, not a couple years ago, many years ago now. But yeah, just got that in there. It was 1, 2, 3. Then I got the 305. 305 from Miami, of course. And then my birthday is March 5th as well. And like 5 is like 3s and 5s are like everywhere for me. 5 most predominantly. I see that shit all the time. I see the not time 305 all the time. So I was like, even before I understood the power of numbers and shit, like it just resonated with me. So it's like crazy how like a lot of my shit I was doing subconsciously, when later on I have the knowledge of it. I'm like, oh shit, that's deep. I didn't think about it, you know? So I got the 305, and this is the part of the Miami skyline. This is supposed to end up being a cover up. I had got this really shitty tattoo. My boy's like, yeah, my cousin Tats, bro. He's really dope. Then I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll try it. And he did Ride or Die. I just thought it'd be funny to have, oh, Ride or Die, you know, fucking a bitch. And she's like, oh, Ride or Die, yeah. And I looked at it and it's just trash, bro. It's fucking scab. It's just trash. So my homegirl did this mermaid for me. And man, honestly, the stomach shit hurts so bad. I never want to finish it. I gotta go back. I'm thinking about how my boy tried. It's basically supposed to have Miami skyline and the bridges and the water's supposed to come wash on here to get the rest of this shit. So right now I tell people it doesn't say ride or mermaid, it says ride a mermaid. And that's how I make that work. But yeah, man. Then my neck. A lot of people always ask me about my neck and did it hurt. This is Vishuddha. It's the throat chakra, fifth chakra. So again, the number 5. It's all about like speaking your truth, being authentic to you, being creative, being free, and it's things that I want to embody and remind myself. You know, a lot of my tattoos are like small reminders and shit like that. My back. My back is basically another crazy shit. You know those birthday books? It'll be like tell you all about you and your birthday. My day is the day of heaven and hell. And let me see. Tell me if I need to like get lower and shit. Oh yeah. So you can see like it's like heaven and hell. The angel trapped in the middle. My mom used to always tell me she praying for me, so I got the piece up top. And it was crazy. I got pieces. So first it was like the big angel. That wasn't even all the way fully done. Then we added the praying Mary on top. Added the skull on the bottom, so you can see it's kind of like chained down, it's heaven and hell kind of vibe. And then we added a little fight scene all up in here. I just haven't been in Miami to get it worked on, so yeah, really excited to finish that up. And I don't know, I just love a lot of my pieces. I got he also did this leg piece. I know I'm a little hairy and shit, so you can't see it, but it's like a geisha with a samurai and shit. And man, he's really dope because he taught himself how to tat in jail. He had got locked up for murder at 18, and Asian cat, man, and got out at 28. Spent them 10 years teaching himself how to tattoo and draw. Got out of prison, and shit, I just put him on everybody I knew. He gave me some good work, and I was like, shit, I just started introducing him to people, and I'm motherfucking on. I think I like my laser for my son, man. It's either that one or my neck piece. I just love my neck piece. That shit is just so clean to me. Really love the laser I got for my son, man. It's just so cool. It just captures like his energy. He love it. Yeah, it had to be between those two. I'm gonna say it's a tie. I can't decide. I love them both. I feel like every tattoo is just like a different place and time. Like none of my shit was really like, oh, I'm gonna get this to flow into that. It was always like just places and time where I was like, yeah, this is what I want. This is what I need more so. I feel like my connection with my tattoos, again, is just reminders of me and my own story. It's like a map. I can look back and kind of reflecting the different time periods of where I was at, what I was thinking, what I was doing, you know. So that's just what I love about tattoos. And like I said, like I feel like I'm a collector, you know, and I'm able to find people who can bring my ideas to life, and it's just dope. Shit, don't be scared, y'all. Support your local tattoo artists. They deserve it, man. Pay for that art. You can always hit up a tattoo party at somebody's basement and shit. I mean, you might find somebody tight, but don't be the first one to get tattooed that night if you do. Let like 2-3 people go first, and then you can make a decision. And do it sober.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, bro.